As they take on the Ivy League champions, the Big Green of Dartmouth College. It's first round action in the Kansas City Regional. The winner of this game will meet the winner of the game later tonight here in Stores between Florida State and Richmond. On the other side of the bracket, Utah and Stanford have already advanced. And as we take a look at Star Watch, Elise Morrison, the center for Dartmouth, their leading scorer and rebounder. And as Stacey Dale Schumann told you a moment ago, Connecticut's Barbara Turner's played very well of late. Doris Burke.
The question for Barbara Turner, is she willing to assert her will, because she's got the physical abilities to impact the game. Morrison, inside-out skills from the center spot.
Gino Auriemma, the Connecticut coach, has been tinkering with the lineup all year long. Tonight it's Ashley Valley with Nicole Wolf, Ann Strother, Barbara Turner, and Jessica Moore. For the Ivy League champs, Jeannie Cullen, Angie Soriaga with Ashley Taylor, Krista Perry, and the standout Elise Morrison. Dartmouth 17-10. The number 14 seed in the Kansas City Regional. Connecticut seeded number 3, their lowest seed in 11 years. Chris Welgus is the Dartmouth coach and a legend in Hanover, New Hampshire in her 20th season. She's had 2 separate stints, was the coach for 8 years, left to pursue other business in basketball, and then came back to Dartmouth and has continued with more success. And you can't be much more successful than that. 4 of the last 5 national championships won by Gino Auriemma. Nan Sisk threw the ball in the air, and Connecticut in white controlled the tip.
Dartmouth opens man-to-man. Let's see how Barbara Turner reacts to the start of this basketball game. Is she assertive?
I'm Sean McDonough with Doris Burke. Aaron Andrews to join us along the sidelines momentarily. Happy to have you with us. Less than capacity crowd on hand, and that is a surprise here at Gamble Pavilion. This is not a home game. The Huskies have sold out 89 home games in a row in this building, dating back to 1997. So they're not used to seeing empty seats, but there are a number of empty seats as this one begins with the ball going out of bounds to Dartmouth.
Connecticut, they will open man-to-man as well. And they have always been good on that side of the basketball this year, Sean. The question for them, their offense has gone up and down. Turnovers have caused problems for this team.
Angie Soriaga led the Ivy League in assist-to-turnover ratio. Morrison kicked it out for Ashley Taylor. Shot clock running out. Jeannie Cullen had it blocked. Nicole Wolf was there with Barbara Turner. And running the court, Jessica Moore, but she couldn't handle the pass underneath the basket.
Well, the pass was on the money. Ashley Valley did a nice job finding the post in transition in a spot where all she had to do was catch and put it up.
It's been an interesting year for Connecticut, 23-7. That's more losses this season than they had the previous 3 years combined, when they lost a total of 5 games while winning 3 national championships. But they've played well lately, coming off their championship in the Big East Conference Tournament. 15 out of the last 18 in the win column for Gino Auriemma's team, and the coach says there isn't anybody in the country we cannot beat. So certainly the possibility of a 4th straight title very much at the forefront of his mind. Soriaga miss, and it's a pitcher's duel, a minute and 40 seconds in.
Soriaga, good read to get the backdoor cut, wide open uncontested jumper.
Nicole Wolf doesn't shoot often, long with that 3 ball. And it's rebounded by the sophomore from Cookeville, Tennessee, Ashley Taylor.
I like that she's taken 2 shots, Nicole Wolf. I don't want to see her shy away just because she's missed a couple now, Sean.
That has frequently happened. Sometimes when Wolf misses early, she's reluctant to shoot, it seems, later on. Good defensive play by Ashley Valley, but Connecticut couldn't retain possession, and it's turned over by Dartmouth. 7 losses, the most since the 92-93 season, but they did win their 12th Big East tournament title, and they're 2nd in the nation in scoring defense. Only Delaware State giving up 49.6 per game, better in scoring defense this year than Connecticut. Ashley Valley misses a 3. She's 36% for the year from beyond the arc. Still no score in the game, more than 2.5 minutes in. And that changes on a long 2-point jumper by Barbara Turner. Connecticut has a 2-0 lead as we approach 3 minutes played. The Huskies and the Big Green of Dartmouth. And Dartmouth perhaps a little bit nervous early for Coach Chris Welgus. 12-2 in the Ivy League. They tied for the championship with Harvard. There is no conference tournament in the Ivy League, so when you are tied, there's a one-game playoff, which they contested at Brown University, and Dartmouth beat Harvard to earn the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. Nicole Wolf with the second bucket of the ball game for the Huskies.
I think this is as assertive as I've seen her. Nice cut to the block, uses their size to get an easy shot. And how about Connecticut extending pressure early?
Coach Welgus anticipated that they might try to blitz them early. Dartmouth has not scored in 3.5 minutes. Turner nearly walked. Ashley Valley, she's been starting, but generally plays 3 or 4 early minutes and goes to the bench for a while. She'll start each half and then maybe not play much thereafter. Sort
of been a tag team from the point guard position. Valley will get minutes. Soignier will get minutes. Nicole Wolf has gotten minutes there.
Krista Perry to Soriaga. Quick ball movement to Jeannie Cullen. She has 57 threes this season to lead the team, the 4th highest single season total in Dartmouth history. But missed that one, and a charitable bounce off the iron for Ann Strother.
On the run out, when Connecticut gets into transition, I think the first person you identify is Ann Strother. When she strokes it, puts a lot of pressure on your defense.
Let's see if the Big Green can settle down here. Angie Soriaga will run the show, junior from College Station, Texas. A chemistry major with a 3.2 grade point average. Both of her parents are chemists at Texas A&M. Elise Morrison, long with the shot. Soriaga follows up and scores. I think Angie thought the ball didn't hit the rim, and they were in jeopardy of a shot clock violation. Dartmouth scores more than 4.5 minutes in. Jessica Moore the miss, and the rebound to Ashley Taylor.
Chris Welgus told us she didn't think they'd be intimidated here, Sean. They played at Kansas, at Virginia, played Hartford and Richmond, 2 other NCAA teams, but I get the sense there's a little bit of nerves. She thought there might be nerves, but not intimidation.
Ashley Taylor, the shot clock under 5. Morrison open on the end line and missed it. Got her own rebound for a moment, then had it knocked away by Nicole Wolf. Ashley Valley, senior from Colchester, Vermont, started the last 20 at point guard, and steamrolling to the bucket was Jessica Moore.
She's improved every season in the Connecticut uniform. The only non-medical redshirt in Gino Auriemma's history, Jess Moore.
Now a senior from Palmer, Alaska. Community of about 4,500 northeast of Anchorage. Morrison for Krista Perry. And out of the corner, Jeannie Cullen for 3 for Dartmouth.
Connecticut came with the double. Dartmouth got ball reversal. It results in a shot for your best shooter.
And the best three-point shooters in Dartmouth history is Cullen. Wolf a miss. The best three-point shooter in Dartmouth history is on their bench, assistant coach Courtney Banghart. Banghart made more than 200 threes in her career, 273 to be exact. Strother fouled on the arm. And assist, the official a long way from that. With the whistle, she's working with Barry Roberts and Sidney James. And a timeout in Storrs, Connecticut.
Number 25, Mel Thomas.
Connecticut's won the last 3 national championships with Diana Taurasi in attendance tonight. They're trying to win one without Diana this year. It's been the biggest challenge, replacing her, one of the great players in the history of women's college basketball. And the struggle for most of the year when Connecticut has struggled has been in the backcourt.
Yeah, there's no question. I think it's extraordinary physical skills, but also sort of this mental toughness that Diana brought that they miss. And it's been point guard by committee. 4 different people have got times. That is a remarkable number for her. 139 and 8. 3 straight national titles.
And Strother at the line, 70% free throw shooter for the junior from Castle Rock, Colorado. Unanimous first team all Big East this season. The leading scorer for the Huskies at 13 points per game. She had 20 in the Big East Tournament Championship win over Rutgers. 1 out of 2 for Strother. And Dartmouth down by only 5, despite the fact that they are 2 for 8 from the floor. They turn it over, and it's put Up and in by Sharday Houston, the very talented freshman who's come off the bench. Mel Thomas, number 25, also in. Houston scores again. Has it back on a beautiful pass from Keisha Soignier. And Chris Welgus on the officials. A couple of quick turnovers by Dartmouth. And the lead is 7. I think she wanted to kick.
Connecticut twice in a row there, Sean, taking the form of a diamond, that pressure. So looking for traps in specific area. They've been very aggressive. You put Sharday Houston out there, Sean. Very strong, long, active defender.
11 points per game. They're in third team all Big East honors. She was on the Big East all freshman team. She was the preseason Big East Freshman of the Year after her sensational high school career in San Diego, California. That award was won at the end of the season by Mati Ajavan, who we saw earlier here for Rutgers.
I don't think that diminishes Sharday's year. It just speaks to the level at which Mati Ajavan played. We saw, I think you were impressed with her, Sean. Jump shooting ability, slashing ability.
Causing problems with this pressure with many of the bench players in. Perry in all kinds of trouble. Got it ahead of Jeannie Cullen. And Connecticut gets back defensively. 7 minutes in. The 3-time defending national champs have a 9-point lead. Cullen a 3-point miss. And there's Houston to control it. Soignier, one of those who's seen action at point guard, the freshman, 5'7" from Columbus, Georgia. Ashley Battle, the veteran senior from Pittsburgh, playing in her 147th game for Connecticut. That is the school record.
Nice job curling off that screen. They got deep into that offensive set.
And a foul called. It's going to be on Dartmouth. It's going to be on Krista Perry as she held off Mel Thomas going for the steal. The first foul on Perry.
Foul charge number 35, Krista Perry.
There's Ashley Battle. There are only 8 players in the country in Division I college basketball on the women's side who have won a national championship, and all 8 of them are on this Connecticut team.
Timeout, Dartmouth.
Battle's won 3 of them. (16-5) Connecticut with 12:21 left in the first half. 5 turnovers for Dartmouth. And they're struggling to shoot as well. 2 for 9 from the field, while UConn has shot 50%.
Yeah, I think Connecticut's pressure in the last few minutes has really disrupted their flow offensively. I thought early on a couple of miscues, but once they were in their offensive set, Dartmouth got a couple of good looks. Got to put those home. Morrison missed a chippy inside off a good inside move. Those are the ones you like to finish, especially early. Welgus was really concerned about their start.
What a delight she is. We very much enjoyed our visit with Chris Welgus, the Dartmouth coach, yesterday. 5th trip to the tournament for Dartmouth. They've never won an NCAA game. Well, back in 2000, they played Purdue on the Boilermakers home court in West Lafayette, and Purdue was the defending national champs coming off the '99 championship. And Dartmouth gave them a real scare, led with under 5 minutes to go in that game. They had a shot to win it at the buzzer that would not go. Boy, Sharday Houston has been an instant factor. Gino calls her the X factor in this NCAA tournament. She is so talented, but if she plays as she is right now, it's the kind of thing that might propel them toward a 4th title in a row.
You need 2 very good offensive players at a minimum. They've had 3 at times. Strother, Turner, Crockett. Will they keep it?
I know a lot of UConn fans would like to see this girl with her jersey back on. She's kind of close to the court, not that far away. How hard is this? March is your time of the year for the UConn Huskies. How hard is it sitting behind the bench now?
It's hard to watch, but at the same time, I'm enjoying watching, you know, the people I played with for 4 years. So as hard as it is, it's nice to be a fan.
And funny, doesn't anyone know who Diana Taurasi is? She was up there and somebody kicked her out of her seat to come down here.
You don't own anything. Once you leave, they forget about you.
Diana, these guards have big shoes to fill once you left. Have you given them any advice?
Well, you know what? It's not easy playing here, especially under a coach who puts so much pressure on you. So I just tell them to go out there and not play scared. I think that's the biggest thing, is to go out there and just play. I mean, you can't control anything but going out there and playing. It's going to end regardless.
And talk about coach putting a little pressure on you. He told us a little story yesterday about you're at UConn right now trying to get your degree and finish up your hours. How How did he get you to come back?
Well, he basically said if you don't finish, you're never walking into Gamble again. So for me, that was pretty shocking. So I decided to come back.
And there's no way that was going to happen.
I was coming back, and I get to see Doris every 2 weeks, so that's a good thing too. She's like my academic advisor. I got to give us a progress report every week. So thanks, Doris.
Thanks, Doris. We'll send it over to Doris. Diana, thank you.
She is a nut. My all-time favorite women's college basketball player, Diana Taurasi, but never fails to give me grief, Sean McDonough. I don't deserve that.
I think she's giving you some props up. She's paying you. I mean, she's a highly paid professional basketball player now, so you should be reimbursed for your academic advising role here.
I'll tell you, a great passer, great shooter, so many skills, Sean, but to me, the thing that differentiated her from most people was her mental approach. She just never doubted herself, always wanted the big shot in the big moments.
And played through a lot of physical pain.
Played with a fracture in her back, 2 ankles that really needed surgery throughout the course of her career. Just toughed it out night after night. What Gina Warriam has tried to sell to Barbara Turner.
Well, they've played well down the stretch, and they're playing well again tonight. Here in the first 10 minutes, leading 20-5. Wilnette Crockett came off the bench and scored a moment ago as Aaron and Diana were chatting. Barbara Turner, the most outstanding player of the Big East tournament with that 15.7 per game. 6.3 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocked shots per game in the tournament for the junior from Cleveland. Soignier, the nice dump off to Crockett. Couple of quick buckets for Wilnette Crockett right off the bench. 13 straight points for UConn. And the press relentless. Fatima Kamara fouled as she tried to break the press.
Keisha Soignier, you get different looks at the point guard with Soignier. You get somebody to go off the bounce. Crockett, good catch. And Crockett has had a habit, Sean, of making March a particularly productive career.
Foul on Soignier, her first and the second against Connecticut. Soriaga rattles in a 3. Angie Soriaga, she played a huge role in getting them here. She had 22 points in their playoff game victory over Harvard to win the automatic berth against Kathy Delaney Smith's very good Harvard team. Mel Thomas, the freshman from Cincinnati, out of Mount Notre Dame High School, where she was on an undefeated state championship team last year.
It brings a little bit of toughness to that point guard position, the ability to shoot. Soignier not quite as good with the jump shot.
Thomas made 4 threes in the Big East quarterfinals against Syracuse. On Mel's way to a career-high 14 points in just 19 minutes. 2 quick fouls now on Keisha Soignier. And she'll go to the bench.
Second personal, third on the team.
You know, the Ivy Leagues are going to have to contend with this Dartmouth team for a while, Sean. Not a senior on the roster, and players like Morrison and Soriaga, other Division I schools outside of the Ivies, recruited both of them.
Kamara got her own rebound. Yeah, they're one of only 7 teams in Division I women's basketball without a senior. Krista Perry, nicely done. The bank shot, the only option open to her with a hand right in her path. Perry's a junior from Boise, Idaho. And the response at the other end, a 3 by Mel Thomas.
Nice job getting to the corner. I'll tell you, it's amazing. You knock down your first shot, it comes off the fingertips so much easier the second time.
3 threes in the ball game for Connecticut. Ashley Taylor shut off as she tried to drive the baseline. Well, these defenders are everywhere for UConn. 8 minutes to go. Another turnover by Soriaga. And a layup missed by Ashley Battle, but Mel Thomas hustled for the rebound and was fouled by Krista Perry. Second foul on Perry. Mel Thomas providing offense off the bench and a very crisp start for the defending champ. The NCAA Women's Championship continues on ESPN2 from Gamble Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut. UConn has won their last 22 NCAA games played in this building, and they lead the Big Green of Dartmouth 28-10 with just under 8 minutes to go in the first half. Sean McDonough with Doris Burke and Aaron Andrews. Connecticut has shot 55%. They have forced 7 turnovers by Dartmouth and scored 10 points off those turnovers. Sade Houston, and now Nicole Wolf, who's back in the game. Sophomore from Walpole, Massachusetts. And a whistle for a foul away from the ball against Dartmouth. It's on Ashley Taylor, her first. She was second team All-Ivy this season with 13 points and 5 rebounds per game. Strother for 3.
Taylor just backed off. I think was looking to go underneath the screen. With Strother, always go on the top side, Sean, because she'll get it off in a hurry.
2 for 2 from 3-point range for Strother. She now has 201 career 3-point field goals, 5th all-time at UConn. Ashley Taylor tried to answer out of the corner, and it rimmed out. Nice pass. Houston dumped it off for Jessica Moore.
That was a little Charles Barkley-esque by Sade Houston. Boarded on one end, go ahead with the big body, get in transition, dump down. Connecticut showing zone last 2 possessions.
Elise Morrison, they just surround her. It's clear Connecticut is not going to let Morrison have any easy looks at the basket. She's by far Dartmouth's best player. That's 16 points and 9 rebounds for the season. 3 for Jessica Moore. 5 threes, 5 out of 11 from beyond the arc for Connecticut, up to a 26-point lead now for the 3-time defending champs.
Gotta be selective when you shoot those shots. With this kind of lead, it's safe.
And a foul on Ann Strother. Her first.
Foul number 43, Ann Strother, her first personal, 4th on the team.
4th team foul. 11 straight points for Connecticut. 27-5 is the run. Just under 6 minutes to go, first half. Connecticut, the number 3 seed in the Kansas City Regional, leading Dartmouth, the 14th seed, 36-10. First meeting between these two schools since 1989, and a 3 out of the corner for Jeannie Cullen, the junior from Janesville, Wisconsin. Her dad, Mark, who's here at the game tonight, played football at the University of Wisconsin. They played earlier this year at the University of Illinois, Chicago, and the Cullen family had about 2 busloads of family and friends. More than 100 folks went down to see the game, a couple of hours trip. And Strother responds for UConn.
Both her mom and her dad, quality athletes. So some good lineage here on the floor for Dartmouth.
58% shooting from the floor for Connecticut here in the first half. And another turnover, the 8th for Dartmouth. And the other end, the capitalization of the turnover, Nicole Wolf.
Similar to what we saw in the Rutgers game, just physically outmatched. Dartmouth, a well-coached basketball team. You documented the Ivy Championships for Welgus, the NCAA appearances, just outmatched physically.
And Morrison just looks a little shell-shocked right now. A lot harder to get her shot off against this kind of tenacious defense than what she is accustomed to seeing through most of their season.
Now, Connecticut, I think, would like to sustain the momentum they built at the Big East Championship. It had been a couple of years since they won it. Feeling good about themselves, out in transition, getting an early start with the pressure. Good 2-on-1 basketball right there. Stay spread, make the defender turn.
Elise Morrison makes the free throw. The sophomore, 6'3" from Franklin, Michigan, out of Detroit Country Day. Same school that produced Catherine Hanks, one of the all-time greats at Dartmouth. Now played professionally in Portugal.
Now you think about the list of schools that recruited Morrison: Illinois, Michigan State, Michigan. There were some very good basketball teams that wanted her services.
She has a history at Michigan. Her dad played hockey on a national runner-up team in 1977. His dad went on to the NHL. Swanier scores for Connecticut. Her mom was a swimmer at Michigan. If we have about a half an hour, we'll chronicle the athletic exploits of the rest of her family. The Morrisons are quite an athletic clan. Soriaga miss. Moore the rebound. Swanier the push. Gino talks about how Swanier and Thomas are really coming along with every game, and you can see the confidence that you couldn't see earlier in the year here tonight.
Well, you know, it's amazing. They opened up with Carolina, and Swanier got hit, had a concussion. Neither played great, and I think their confidence shaken early. It's amazing how long it can take a freshman to recover.
Morrison scores, then the run the other way for Ashley Battle. And a good rebound in traffic by Fatima Kamara, the sophomore from Carrollton, Texas. Both these schools get players from all over the country. Of course, the appeal of an Ivy League education. It's a huge reason why many of these Big Green players came to Dartmouth, many of them paying for most of their education. They do not have athletic scholarships at Dartmouth. Any financial assistance is based on need.
I thought Chris Rogers made a great point to what you were just speaking about. She said all of these players, this program, they are as invested in it as I am, because they could go back, focus on their books. They don't have to practice. Instead, you know, they pay the price to participate in both.
Well, she said it's easiest if you have somebody who unfortunately has a lot of financial need, because then Dartmouth can pay for just about all of it. Typically, the student who has the most need might have to cover $800 out of about a $41,000 a year cost.
It's a good deal
To go to Dartmouth. Strother. Of course, it's toughest on middle-class families. Generally, they don't qualify for enough aid that they might need, and they can't afford to pay the freight for an Ivy League education either.
And Connecticut's offense working right there. Another assist on another basket, so that's 17 out of 20, updating what we just showed you. And I'll tell you this, if Wilnette Crockett plays like this, is aggressive, Sean, assertive, that would be great.
She's been excellent off the bench. Cullen launched the shot, and as soon as she did, she went running for the rebound. She knew it was off. 30-point lead for Connecticut. And if they keep playing like this, the veteran coach is absolutely right. They can beat anybody in the country, and I think the other national championship contenders looking in right now have to be a little bit concerned by what they've seen from the Huskies. No Taurasi, but still playing national championship caliber ball.
Well, they played great. I think, obviously, take it away. We've talked all the time, Sean, about parity. Well, guess who came out of the SEC? Tennessee did. Out of the Big East, Connecticut. It's time to prove it if parity's here.
The Huskies certainly are doggone good tonight. 64% from the floor. They've outscored Dartmouth in the paint 20-2. The fast break points are 17 zip. And the lead is 51-19.
Number 13, Rashida Sadiq. Number 2, Ashley Battle.
Elise Morrison
Also in the Connecticut lineup
makes the first free throw. She didn't even watch the selection show last Sunday because she was studying for an exam on the Roman classics.
Wow.
Got a phone call from her parents to tell her they were going to Stores to play the defending national champs on their home court. Morrison had 20 rebounds in a game earlier this year against UIC. And then a foul against Connecticut. Barbara Turner called for a moving screen. Coming up at the half, Reese Davis, Lisa Leslie, Stacey Dale Schumann in the studio for the singular halftime report. We'll tell you about all those games that are underway, including a number 1 seed North Carolina in action against Coppin State. Some of these Connecticut players were talking about they were happy to be in the Kansas City Regional with Michigan State, the number 1 seed. Maybe another shot at the Spartans, who really put it on Connecticut earlier this year in the Hartford Civic Center. A 3 for Jeannie Cullen.
Say that is a team to be reckoned with. Joanne McCauley's done an outstanding job building that program, Sean. They play a matchup 2-3 zone, hard to figure out.
Morrison, the rebound in traffic. Nice move to the bucket by Cullen. The shot wouldn't go. And it's Ashley Valley for Connecticut. About 2 seconds difference between the game clock and shot clock. And the 3 wouldn't drop for Stacy Marin, the senior walk-on from Albuquerque, New Mexico. First walk-on in UConn history. Gino Auriemma put on a full scholarship.
He used to get annoyed with the crowd, Sean, because they were cheering all the time. He said, I've scholarshiped her. Stop treating her like a walk-on.
And at the buzzer, a little consolation for the Big Green. 6 points for Morrison, just 1 for 7 from the floor, as Dartmouth cannot hang in there with the Huskies. 51-26 at the break. Here's Reese. To Storrs, Connecticut. At halftime, a 51-26 lead for the 3-time defending national champs. But Dartmouth started on the comeback trail, Doris. They scored the last 7 points of the first half, but other than that, it was total domination by Connecticut. A very impressive performance.
I think they're trying to maintain the momentum they built in the Big East tournament. There's no question about it. Confidence has been up and down for this team, so you set the tone in your first game. You said it while we were at break. Sharday Houston, really things changed as soon as she came in the ball game. They got into pressure. They knocked down some threes. A lot of different players active, including Jess Moore from behind the arc, a rare look, and then a 2-on-1 break late, just textbook. Outstanding half of basketball offensively.
They shot 58%. It was their 3rd highest scoring half of the season. 27 bench points. 9 different Huskies scored. Nobody played more than 14 minutes, which bodes well when you have a game coming up on Tuesday night. Here's Erin Andrews.
Hey guys, you're absolutely right about setting the tone. That's exactly what UConn head coach Gino Auriemma told me. That's what he wants to do. Obviously, 27 bench points, shooting over 58%, and he said, we are not going to be tentative for this game. It doesn't matter who we're playing tonight. We want to get everyone involved. We are trying to set the tone, guys.
I think they're setting the tone, Doris.
I think it's not a bad thing. And Connecticut bench involved as well.
And Strother led all scores, 11 points in the first half. Jeannie Cullen had 9 on 3 3-pointers for Dartmouth. Dartmouth ball to begin the second half. Angie Soriaga guarded by Ashley Valley. And a foul called. Jessica Moore couldn't believe it. She thought she did a great job denying that pass to Morrison. But it's the second foul on Jessica Moore.
Second personal, first time Huskies this half.
So Ashley Taylor will play it in. Now Jeannie Cullen. Krista Perry. Ashley Taylor, now Elise Morrison. The same 5 that started the ball game begins the second half for Coach Welgis, and Morrison turned it over to Ann Strother. Ashley Valley thought about a 3. Barbara Turner, Nicole Wolf. Nice drive. Boy, she has played a very confident game offensively tonight.
Yeah, made her the National High School Player of the Year, an all-around skilled type player. Go off the bounce. I think the injuries that she experienced early in her career, she hasn't been able to rebound yet. You know she's a skilled basketball player, a good kid. You want to see her elevate her play.
Missed all but 3 games last year to Nicole Wolf, who takes it away again. She had a torn left ACL. She had stress fractures in her left foot. As a freshman, played in only 10 games. Ashley Valley to finish off the nice feed from Wolf. As you said, Nicole Wolf, one of the top recruits in the country. All the top schools were recruiting her out of Walpole High School, where she played on the state championship team for an outstanding coach in Steve Weisgerber. Scored more than 2,000 points in high school, 9th all-time in Massachusetts basketball history. Soriaga didn't get the bounce. Moore took it away from her teammate Turner.
You can see at times where they run good sets. That back door, they bring everybody high, so no help defense.
More a miss. Hasn't been a great performance, obviously, for Dartmouth tonight against outstanding competition, but This is a proud program in the Ivy League. They've won 9 Ivy League titles in Chris Welgus's 20 seasons.
Nicole Wolf, a little mishandle there. The good dish, you mentioned it, to Ashley Valley, and then on penetration just beats the defender. Nice easy hoop inside.
Cullen well short with the free throw. She had one of her best games this year against some of the best competition. They played 21 points in a loss at Virginia. 1 out of 2 for Cullen. Mentioned her family came down to Chicago for that game against UIC. While they were there, they went to the home of Gail Kosiara, one of the all-time great players in the history of Dartmouth women's basketball. We talk about how these women go for basketball, but also for the academics. You know what she does now? She's the president of Blue Cross Blue Shield in Illinois.
I think her digs were pretty good as they were being described.
It was a mansion. Things are good for Gail Kosiara, former star Dartmouth, class of '82. ESPN2's exclusive coverage of the Women's Championship. The telecast presented by Avis continues at 9 Eastern. We're looking forward to the action here. Florida State and Richmond. That's a rematch of a first-round NIT game last year, which Richmond won on its home court.
I really believe coming in, had Kate Flavin been healthy, and there is some question as to whether she'll play. She participated some in practice yesterday here at Campbell Pavilion, but if they do not have her, I just don't see how they can beat Florida State. Florida State thin, Sean, but you got to have your best player at this time of the year.
Well, let's hope Flavin can play. Morrison, strong move, but then could not get the ball up to the rim. Jessica Moore, and Morrison the rebound. Just the second rebound for Morrison. Of course, there haven't been many UConn misses to rebound. Soriaga quickly along the baseline, and the bucket for Fatima Kamara, pre-med student, occasional starter this year from Carrollton, Texas, a sophomore. Now Valley will settle the offense. Barbara Turner. Good rebound in traffic. Jessica Moore couldn't finish. Timeout, Dartmouth. Good hustle play by Angie Soriaga. And a timeout. First round action from Storrs continues after this. Just up the road from Storrs, the fantastic Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts. UConn exhibit chronicling the championships. And someday soon, Gino Auriemma will be enshrined in that Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Diana Taurasi looking on. Say she has a shot at it too.
A very good shot. Her first Olympic gold medal this past summer. Dawn Staley, a coach we saw earlier, sort of passing the torch to Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi in that Olympics.
And after Morrison scores, she commits the foul at the other end on Barbara Turner. 58-31 Connecticut, with a chance for Turner to make it 59-31.
Nice to see Barbara Turner smile as she plays. Sean, hadn't seen that in a while. The injuries impacting her season early.
Foul on Morrison, her second. Friends, you can find the complete results from every site of the NCAA basketball tournament, as well as information on future championship sites at ncaasports.com. NCAAsports.com, the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Turner misses the free throw, and Morrison wins the race to the ball along the baseline. I mentioned Elise Morrison's family. We might as well start now, but I'm not sure we have enough time. Her dad played hockey at Michigan and for the Philadelphia Flyers. Mom swam at Michigan, swam the backstroke, earned a letter, one of the first women to earn a letter at Michigan, graduated in the late 70s. Elise's older sister just graduated from Northwestern, played basketball. She had a degree in civil engineering. Her grandfather, Ben Peterson, played football at Michigan in the 1950 Rose Bowl. Maternal grandmother was on the synchronized swimming team in Michigan. Paternal grandfather played baseball at Michigan, won 3 Big Ten titles. Another uncle, Chip Peterson, played for Bo Schembechler football at Michigan. Her uncle Tom Peterson went to Michigan on a full scholarship as a swimmer. Uncle Steve Morrison played baseball at South Alabama, was drafted by the Tigers. Uncle Bruce Morrison played baseball at South Alabama and then transferred to Indiana, was drafted by the San Francisco Giants. Other than that, there are no athletes in her family.
They should play in your rec league.
Out of bounds.
Timeout on the floor.
And a timeout on the floor. Not a great night for Elise Morrison and Dartmouth, but it's been a terrific season just to get them here. We were mentioning Elise Morrison, her athletic family. There's her mom, Liza, who was a swimmer at Michigan. It's also 4-year-old little sister, Morgan, who's already a hockey, baseball, football player. Following the hockey footsteps of Dad, Gary. Played right wing for the University of Michigan and in 33 games with the Philadelphia Flyers. And Elise has had her moments here tonight.
Certainly has good athletes, recruited by a lot of big schools.
And she's played well against some of their best competition. At 29, a season high against Hartford, which was in the tournament earlier today here in Storrs. Lost to Rutgers, and Elise scored 27 against Virginia. That was a very competitive loss against the Cavaliers. Dartmouth lost by 13 in that one. Fatima Kamara missed the shot, and here come the Huskies the other way. And a lay-in by Jessica Moore as we welcome in Erin Andrews again. Erin?
Well, guys, you're talking about Elise Morrison's parents, Gary and Lisa. When they got married, they joked about what their offspring would be like, how athletic they would be. A local football coach in their area said, please have boys. Get this, they had all 3 girls, obviously. They turned out to be pretty athletic themselves.
They have indeed. And I know Coach Welgus is excited about the fact that Elise is just a sophomore and a team here with no seniors. And Strother kicks it out to Soignier. And now Jessica Moore, you can tell she likes that spot. She's been setting up shop there all night.
Yeah, she has. Always been a very consistent defender. It took her a while to get some polish to her offensive game, but she's come a long, long way.
Yeah, from Palmer, Alaska.
Literally, yeah. On the basketball court as well.
Morrison thought she was fouled, didn't get the call. And the loose ball wound up with Ann Strother. Under 14 minutes to go. Connecticut in cruise control. Nicole Wolf a miss. And the rebound by Morrison.
So some of the higher seeds winning convincingly. North Carolina off to a great start in their ball game. I'll tell you, Sean, that may be the single most athletic team in the country, Sylvia Hatchell's club.
The same could be true of the North Carolina men. We wonder if we're looking at the same thing Connecticut pulled off last year as a possibility this year, with North Carolina having the double national championships, men and women. It's certainly possible. Won't happen for Connecticut this year. Their men are already out. War Women's Championship second round action. Monday night at 7 Eastern time. Southern California against the #1 seed in this Kansas City Regional, Michigan State. And at 9, an impressive lineup of games, including Virginia and Minnesota. Minnesota team that we really came to appreciate last year with Lindsay Whalen, Janelle McCarville. What a great run they made for the Final Four.
Operating without Lindsay Whalen, but Janelle McCarville, along with Jessica Davenport, 2 of the best post players in the game. McCarville by far the best passer out of the post. Amazing skills, great touch.
Out of bounds, it'll be Dartmouth ball. We'll talk about how the women's game has developed and changed. Chris Welgus was reminiscing about the first appearance in the tournament for Dartmouth back in 1983. They lost to Monmouth. Tickets were $3. Those were the good seats, $2 in general admission. Today, a ticket for a session here goes for $25.
Well, they used to have situations where higher seeds would get buys in the first round. Well, one time the field was 32, went to 64.
You know, it also got the Dartmouth people's attention. And Gino Auriemma, I guess, had reason to be as confident as he was. On the website, they quoted, the UConn website, they quoted Gino Auriemma after the Perrys came out as saying, we played Dartmouth, then we play the winner of Richmond and Florida State. Well, I guess that confidence was not misplaced, as they have doubled up the Big Green. Just 2 turnovers for Connecticut, while they forced 11 from Dartmouth. Krista Perry. Perry was singled out for a great defense in that playoff game against Harvard. The Ivy Player of the Year, Reka Czerny, was defended well by Perry. Czerny was just 5 of 12 from the field in that game. UConn continues to impress. Ashley Battle makes it 66-34.
You have to have those players, Sean. Somebody committed to defensively being the stopper. This is a well-rounded Ivy League club. You have shooters. You have Soriaga at the point guard.
And a timeout called by Cullen. She was in trouble in the corner.
Timeout, Dartmouth.
And Chris Welgus gathers her troops. He's the mother of 2 grown sons, Chip and Tommy, ages 25 and 20. She was excited that they were both going to be here tonight to watch her coach in the NCAA tournament. 293 wins. She's in their Wearer of the Green Society, which really is for legends like their Hall of Fame. You're supposed to be retired as a coach. She did leave Dartmouth, was inducted in 1989, and then came back. One of her sons needed an operation, and she decided to leave coaching for a while. Worked some USA basketball nationally, some camps, and came back into coaching at Fordham for 2 years. All she did was have back-to-back winning seasons there. First time that had happened at Fordham in 13 years. Won a Patriot League title, then came back to Dartmouth, where the wins just keep on coming for one of the really nice people in women's basketball.
Tremendous character, and as a former player, as you mentioned, Courtney Bangert, the all-time 3-point shooter and a member of one of their NCAA tournament appearances. Beside her on the bench.
As Chris Welgus said, she never sat on the bench when she played because she was such a good player. She was always out there playing. And now she's a top assistant along with Chris Lazier. There's Courtney Banghart, 2-time Dartmouth MVP, 3-year starter, led the nation in 3-pointers in 1999, made 3.5 per game. Timeout, 11.5 to go in Storrs, Connecticut.
Diana Taurasi made a good point, you know, after somebody interviewed her this past summer about playing at Connecticut. And she said, you know, she said playing for Coach Auriemma, he's going to, you know, he's going to punch you and punch you and punch you and punch you and punch you. He said, if you're still standing in March, then he'll embrace you. And that's what we do here.
And it's worked pretty well, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, she said last season, Sean, he spends from October to February making you believe you're the single worst collection of talent. And then this is what happens in March. 8 Final Fours, 5 national championships, second only to Pat Summitt, who's got 6. Pat, an absurd number of Final Fours. 85 and 17 coming into this year was Pat Summitt in the NCAA tournament. Gino Auriemma, 53 and 11.
And we mentioned earlier today during our telecast of the Hartford-Rutgers game, Hartford coached by Jen Rosati, the former great point guard, National Player of the Year, Connecticut with Gino Auriemma. She used the word jerk, and she says it lovingly about Gino Auriemma. So he was a jerk so that we would all bond together. We would form the common bond, united basically against him for most of the season.
The Bear Bryant approach.
Well, it works for Gino Auriemma and his Connecticut Huskies. Ashley Battle, senior from Pittsburgh. Grew up in a tough neighborhood in Pittsburgh. So frequently she had to ask boys in the neighborhood to accompany her to the playground. Didn't want to make the walk by herself when she'd go to play. And a foul inside. Morrison will go to the line. Foul on Sharday Houston, her 3rd.
Foul charge number 25, Mel Thomas.
Oh, check it. It's on Mel Thomas.
First foul on Thomas, 4th on the team.
Her first, 4th on the team. And Morrison back at the free throw line. "12 points, 6 out of 7 from the stripe for Morrison. Now Keisha Soignier. Both parents are veterans of the military, both in the Army. Cornell and Rosie, retired first sergeants in the United States Army. Her dad served in Iraq. And the shot from the corner wouldn't go for Ashley Battle. Midway through the second half, a very impressive performance by Connecticut. They've won 18 games in a row in the NCAA tournament. What is that?
And Sisk having an offensive foul called on.
Think she just got bored?
As Mr. Raftery might say, I think that's a play on.
Sydney Scott, the freshman just sent into the ball game by Coach Welgus, called for the offensive foul. She was on the Ivy League all-rookie team this year. Do you know who the Ivy League Rookie of the Year was this year?
You're going to tell me.
Bill Cowher's daughter, the Pittsburgh Steelers coach. His daughter Megan, a terrific forward at Princeton, the Ivy League Rookie of the Year.
Something tells me her demeanor is intense.
I think so. She's anything like her dad. Janie Cullen. A little strong with a runner after the bucket by Thomas at the other end. There's the freshman Scott. A little short with it. Traveling the call.
Connecticut substitution.
Nicole Wolf comes back in.
Keisha Soignier.
For Keisha Soignier. Angie Soriaga. She's hit 5 buzzer beaters in her career. One of those players who wants the ball at the end of the game. Sydney Scott stripped. Here's Sharday Houston. And it's slapped away. Monday night, ESPN and ESPN2's coverage of college basketball continues. 2 games from the NIT at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. Holy Cross takes on St. Joseph's. And then at 9 Eastern on ESPN, Wichita State battles Vanderbilt. The NIT presented by Jordan on ESPN and ESPN2. Monday night. For more, log on to ESPN.com. So you think of that Holy Cross team under Ralph Willard.
Yes.
They, out of the Patriot League in recent years, a number of very close calls against high seeds. They lose in an upset on their home court in the championship game to Bucknell. Then they watch Bucknell beat Kansas. They had to be thinking, that could have been us.
Could easily have been us. Ralph Willard, an outstanding coach. I don't know that there's many people who prepare harder than Ralph Willard. And St. Joe's Phil Martelli, another outstanding coach as well.
Mel Thomas having a big night. Their career high is 14 points. That was in the Big East tournament quarterfinals against Syracuse. She has 11 tonight. I think Syracuse is another program in this Big East Conference to keep an eye on with the new coach this year. Keith Saplicki got rave reviews for his work.
Yeah, I think he'll do an outstanding job. Had spent some time at Boston College, but you and Reese Davis, your alma mater, is absolutely killing my brackets. Alabama and Syracuse on the men's side, just killing me.
I'm sure Reese had as much control over Alabama's performance as I did over Syracuse's. Ashley Battle. She has 9, 7.5 to go. 78-40 Connecticut. Morrison left open at the elbow. And Battle the rebound. Mel Thomas. So Gino Oriana said she and Soignier are just driving in the right direction at the right time. And more evidence of that tonight.
I think everything to like about Mel Thomas's game, has the package, can shoot it. Good decision, Sean. The only thing she lacks is speed. Maybe she improves that quickness over the offseason.
Traveling the call. The drive for the 4th straight national championship begins tonight, and they're playing national championship caliber basketball here this evening. All right, Reese, thank you. Not quite a tight one here. Connecticut, a very impressive performance, still shooting 59% for the game, and very unselfish basketball. 27 assists on their 34 field goals. Nicole Wolf into the corner. It went to Houston underneath, and Jessica Moore's shot never did get up on the rim. 6.5 minutes to go. Angie Soriaga. She'll set up the offense for Dartmouth. A nice year athletically. The men's hockey team at Dartmouth faring well. They were to find out today if they made the NCAA tournament. They were hopeful they would. Women's hockey faring well. The basketball team was much improved. Under new coach Terry Dunn on the men's side. They were 7-7 in the Ivy League after one win in the league last year. Houston, she's caused a problem for Dartmouth tonight. She has 10 points. 5 Huskies in double figures now. That's 10 points, a long way from her high school career total. 3,837 points at San Diego High for Sharday Houston. She broke Cheryl Miller's California State high school scoring record and led San Diego to its first state championship. 3,800 points.
Yeah, that's a lot of points. And you know what? Throughout her first year, Sean, she's played basically on instincts and skill. I don't think she's got a great grasp of the Connecticut system yet. So imagine when she gets the grasp, because her number's outstanding without it.
Thanks for seeing next to Chris Daly, who's been there the entire 20 years alongside Gino Auriemma. Associate head coach. And another one of the really nice people that you look forward to seeing as you travel around women's college basketball.
Yeah, no question. I think the continuity on their staff has contributed greatly to their success.
Jeannie Cullen, Angie Soriaga. Krista Perry moved it quickly. And the shot wouldn't go for Fatima Kamara. Well, they have whipped the ball around all night. Ball movement, player movement, impressive for Connecticut.
As they advance, Sean, the one thing that's pinched them in every single one of their losses has been turnovers. So, can they keep their mistakes to a minimum in the tournament?
Through ball for Barbara Turner. Eight threes for UConn tonight. And a long three wouldn't go for Jeannie Cullen. That was just the third three-pointer of the year for Barbara Turner. She was 2 for 12. And Strother scores in transition. 87-40. Cullen had her shot deflected. The winner of this game, and it will be Connecticut, will play the winner of the game coming up next here in Kansas City regional action. But the scores grouping: Florida State and Richmond. Moore a little bit long with the jumper. Bad pass intended for Krista Perry. And a timeout. 3:15 to go. Back for the conclusion from Stores after this.
Well, tonight's victory for the UConn Huskies will be their 19th straight win in the NCAA tournament. 8 players on this team have rings. But, Gino Auriemma said it's not about experience. It's not just about experience. It's also about the superstars. They help you win the NCAA tournament. But, Doris, you think this year with this Huskies team, this may not be about superstars, right?
I think so. Barbara Turner was quoted after the Big East tournament as saying, we all have to do our part. If each of us does 1/12 of what we're capable of doing, just stays within our box, does our role. The thing is, I believe, Sean, that Houston Crockett, Strother, and Turner all have to elevate their play. If they can be consistent with their effort, Charday brings you scoring punch. Crockett brings you defense on the post and rebounding. Strother stretches a D with a 3, and Turner is the one who brings one-on-one abilities. If the shot clock gets underneath 10, she can create on her own. They have enough collectively. There is no superstar.
Well, Gino did say yesterday, ordinarily go deep in the tournament, you have to have superstars, and we don't have any. But he also said, I think we can beat any team in the country. Battling more tonight, playing in their 19th NCAA tournament games. They're going to go to 19-0 in the tournament. Looking for a 4th ring. They have 5 players who have won 3 and 3 players who have won 2 national championships among the 8 who own rings on this Connecticut team. Jeannie Cullen scored for Dartmouth. Rashida Sadiq into the ball game for Connecticut. Number 13, the junior from Nigeria. She played on the Nigerian Olympic team last summer in Athens.
Looked like she was ready to make a great move, just lost control of the ball.
Cullen shot short. Angie Soriaga, one of the great free throw shooters in the country. She makes a 3 there. She hasn't attempted a free throw tonight. For this season, she's 95%, 56 of 59. And for her career, 92% for the junior from College Station, Texas. 164 out of 178. She's made her last 31. And a 3 for Ashley Valley.
Ashley Valley for 3. Timeout. Big Green.
Timeout Dartmouth. Chris Welgus just wants to get some players into the game and give them the experience of participating in the NCAA tournament. Hard to choose a player of the game. So many outstanding performances for Connecticut tonight. But Ann Strother is the Diet Coke player of the game with a nice stat line. 13, 6 assists and 3 steals. 5 out of 6 from the floor.
Plenty of good choices, no question. Really well-rounded effort.
Shannon O'Donnell and number 32, Whitney Cunningham.
Shannon O'Donnell, number 5, is checked in. She's a local product. Plays for Dartmouth, but she's from Moodus, Connecticut. A junior. Here's Shannon with the ball. Amara's shot is long. Whitney Cunningham has also come in, number 32, a sophomore from West Palm Beach, Florida. And a rare Connecticut turnover. That's their 8th of the night. So Connecticut advances to the 2nd round in the Kansas City Regional. And they'll play the winner of the game next. Florida State and Richmond. I must say, Doris, I much prefer the days when you just had the regions, you know, the East, the West, or whatever.
Yes.
Mid-East, South, whatever you want to call it. And you kind of knew.
Yes.
You know, when you had all the schools at one place, they were all in the same region.
Easier
I'm
to
not
reference.
smart enough to keep track of all this stuff. Just think it's confusing.
Grouping, pod.
Groupings and pods and regionals. You're in a regional, but you're playing somewhere else until you get to the regional.
That's a very hot topic of conversation in women's college basketball, Sean. They go to the 8 sites, predetermined, you know, but it's not total neutrality. So it's one way or the other. I think most coaches feel either give the top 16 seeds in the tournament home court advantage or go to completely neutral sites.
11 Huskies have scored now with the bucket by Sadiq. All of them have played. Only Stacey Marin has not scored. She attempted 1 shot. And there's Stacey. She might have a chance to make it unanimous. She broke her nose in practice before the Big East tournament, the reason she's wearing the mask. Here's Marin, and they've all scored. A through ball for the senior from Albuquerque. Eleven threes tonight for UConn. Well, they were on a roll at the end of the year. Impressive performance to beat Rutgers in the Big East tournament championship game. And even with the time off, about 12 days since then, Another very good-looking performance by Gino Auriemma's club.
I think the entire bracket shakes out well for this Connecticut team. Gino Auriemma and I spoke yesterday. He said, no, he goes, I never believed that. He said, until you get to a particular place and decide how that team is playing, you never know. But his competition, I think, bodes well for him.
Final score, Connecticut 95, Dartmouth 47.
60% from the floor for Connecticut. Assists on 80% of those baskets and only 8 turnovers against Dartmouth. Connecticut advances. They'll meet the winner of the final game of the night here in Stores. Coming up next, Florida State and Richmond. Once again, the final score, UConn 95, Dartmouth 47. The season ends for the Big Green at 17-11. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Here's Reese Davis.